Phil Ervin, the Timberwolves beat writer at FoxSportsNorth.com, nice enough to stop by to talk Timberwolves basketball. Sounds like Gorgui Dieng will be back in the saddle for the Wolves tonight at center. An impressive debut. The encore might be a little more difficult.
Yeah, it might be at Dallas. Definitely a tougher challenge than what he saw the other night. But good for Gorgui. You know, since he came here, since he was drafted this summer, his message consistently has been, I'm here to work hard. I understand I'm a rookie. I'm going to keep my nose to the grindstone, and I'm going to wait for my time to come. Well, that time came the other night, and he really acquitted himself well. Not only, you know, doing what he was drafted to do by blocking shots, but was effective around the rim with the ball in his hands. Looked more comfortable with the ball in his hands, too, than he has in some spot action kind of throughout the year, and definitely, you know, a great first career start for him.
Phil, I enjoyed reading your article on Kevin Love, available right now on FoxSportsNorth.com, dealing not only with his incredible season, but the backstory here, and including the loss of someone he was extremely close to, his grandma Carol.
When you look at this great season he's had, there's so many facets, so many factors that go into it. The gargantuan stats, and just esoterically watching him play, and the things he's able to do just with his strength and his finesse, stepping out, hitting threes, and then being a bull on the post, you know, getting rebounds and playing inside. But maybe hasn't been talked about as much, and he hasn't opened up about as much, as that he lost someone very, very close to him. His grandma Carol basically, you know, lived right next door to him on his parents' property growing up in Oregon, and then they were very, very close. She attended all the games she could, and whichever ones she didn't, she was watching on TV. So that was a tough loss for Kevin back in December, and if you're looking now, he's got the Grandma Carol wristband on his arm, and really has tried to honor her memory this year, and I'd say he's done a pretty good job.
Well, I don't think there's any question about it. We've nearly reached the end of this Timberwolves season. The playoff hopes very, very slim, but already conversation about Rick Adelman. Will he return as head coach? It seems every year he reassesses the position.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to be any different this time around. With Rick, he's such a hard guy to read, and there's just so many factors that kind of go into this decision. You know, number one is family. He's a family man to the core. We know that about him, and his wife Mary Kay had a couple more health complications, setbacks that he had to step aside from the team and address this year. Above that, and you know, you talk about family too. He's got David Adelman, his son, who's an assistant coach with them, and then Terry Porter, kind of like a family member with as much loyalty as there is, you know, among this Timberwolves coaching staff. So that's going to play a factor. There's a contract to consider too. So I think it's going to be a lot like last summer, where he's going to have the off season, he's going to have the time, and when you're been in the league as long as he has and had the success he has, you get that luxury to kind of weigh your options and decide. And maybe he shows up, a day before training camp like he did this past summer, maybe not. But either way, definitely going to go down as a Hall of Fame coach, and the Wolves will have been lucky to have had him.
No question about that. Phil Ervin, always great when you stop by, and we appreciate your time to talk Timberwolves basketball. Phil, the Wolves beat writer at FoxSportsNorth.com, and you can go there to read his articles on Kevin Love and all sorts of insight on the Wolves all season long.